Hello, Potato! It's been a while since we've done one of these. We've done lots of food videos recently, but not one of these. That's right, it's breakfast time! Today, me and the Captain are gonna make it happen with Cotton Candy Crunch, because Captain Crunch cereal wasn't unhealthy enough. But that's not all. We're not just doing Cotton Candy Crunch today, no. We're taking it to a new level. We're gonna take a field trip to the kitchen, because today I'm also gonna make Captain Crunch's Berrytastic pancakes and top it off with Captain Crunch's Ocean Blue artificially maple flavored syrup. That's right, we have basically Crunchberry cereal, which is something that isn't going to have any crunch in it, and Ocean Blue syrup. These are both put out by Aunt Jemima. I believe they're a Walmart exclusive, so yes, I had to go to Walmart for these. And yep, you can have shiploads of morning fun. And then I'm going to guess later you're going to have shiploads of blue waste. But yep, pretty simple. I'm not going to make a full batch of these because it's just me and I don't want 12 to 18 pancakes. So I'm going to cut this in half. Because, yeah, I don't think these are going to keep. I don't want leftover pancakes. And I don't think... I have never seen a pancake mix that actually made as many as it said, though. Usually when it says 12, it makes like 6, unless you're talking dollar size. It doesn't specify that. Let's look at our nutrition stuff here. It's horrible. 160 calories per serving, 20 servings per container. Serving size is 1/3 of a cup, or 2 4-inch pancakes, or waffles. I could make Berrytastic waffles, which you shouldn't do with pancake mix, because the pancake mix doesn't have all the right things in it the waffle mix should have. But you know, that's kind of tempting, because that would probably be easier. I haven't made pancakes since I was like a teenager. So that's been a long time. So this could go horribly bad. But let's see, look at our usual stuff. Our sodium, 20% of your sodium in 2 pancakes. These are some salty pancakes. And then we have our syrup to consider. That's another 100 calories for a mere 2 tablespoons. And that's only got 1% of your daily value of sodium. So that's good at least. Do not microwave, it says in there. I assume that means the bottle, not the syrup. Although, ingredients, look at the ingredients. This is probably horrible. First ingredient, corn syrup. Second ingredient, high fructose corn syrup. So this is just a bottle of corn syrup, basically, with some blue coloring and something to make it taste vaguely of maple, I'm sure. So yeah, those are horrible. But, you know, it's part of this complete breakfast, so let's check out our Cotton Candy Crunch. And that's another 150 calories before you add the milk. And 7% of your sodium. So right here you got 28% of your sodium if you just have a single serving. And let's face it, most people end up having more of any of these things than 2 pancakes, 1 1/4 cups. Actually, 1 1/4 cup might not be too bad. And 2 tablespoons of syrup. Who puts 2 tablespoons of syrup on something? You drench that stuff. That is not 2... No, it's not on that picture. Well, it is sort of in that picture. Okay, that might be 2 tablespoons. That is more than 2 tablespoons. There's no way that's only 2 tablespoons. And there's also no way that's enough syrup. Yeah, so let's mix these up. I'm going to do the mixing. I'm not going to do the cooking in here. Because while I could, that just seems like a bad idea. Anything more than microwave seems like a bad idea in here, the more I think of it. So let me grab some water and some dry measuring cups and a mixing bowl. And we're going to mix this stuff up in here. So we've got ourselves a mixing bowl, or cup in this case, because we want that pour spout to pour it into the pan with. And I've got our water. Remember, only making a half a portion of this. So I'm using 1 cup of mix and 3/4 cup of water. Because I don't need 12 to 18 pancakes. 6 to 9 will be more than enough for me. One thing that kind of disturbs me looking at this box is that when you do this, it puffs out. I don't know if it shows up on camera. But that tells me this probably doesn't have like, well, no, definitely does not have an internal bag, because we have a tab to open and close. So that's not great for any sort of long-term storage, is it? But can deal with that later. Oh, that's not, is that even, yeah, this is going to be messy. All right, so it's, yep, already getting stuff on the table. I should have put down the plastic for this one, shouldn't I have? Alright, so maybe I'll finally give this thing a wash. Of course, now, normally for pancakes we use bagged stuff, Crusties, which is nice because you can put the whole scoop in it. And this seems very gray to me. I guess that's from the coloring. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to level this off properly in here. So we're just going to kind of get as close to a cup as we can, which I think that's that. Yep, that should be about a cup. So yeah, that's I'm not seeing any big obvious like bits of color in there. So maybe the stuff like reacts to water or something, or maybe it's all at the bottom of the box and we're never going to see it. And add our water. I'm seeing a little bit of color now. Let's so I've added our water, combine the ingredients, stir until large lumps disappear, do not beat or overmix. So just want to get it all combined. Probably didn't need a whisk for this. And yeah, I'm starting to see, I mean, it still looks very gray to me. I don't know how it shows up on camera, but I am seeing little specks of color starting to bloom out in it. I think that's pretty well combined. Yeah, this isn't going to make 6 very big pancakes. Alright, so put that aside. So just for fun, because I had some stuff left over, I've mixed up a batch of our normal pancake mix, our Crusties. I have all this leftover red, white, and blue 4th of July Crunch, so I'm going to mix some Crunchberries into normal pancake mix, and we're going to see how that comes out. Get an idea now why I'm only half batching these things? You think that's good? That might actually be too much. And I'm just going to gently fold those in because I'm sure we don't want to overmix this batter either. And you know, they say, I think Alton Brown has said it before, back on Good Eats, that you should let your pancake or waffle mix sit for a few minutes, let the chemical reactions take place so they can puff up, get a little air in there. You can kind of see that this one already has got a little air in it because I made it before I started shooting the rest of this. All right. Yeah, so I should have used a fork for that one too. I wanted to be fancy. And now I've got mix on my tablecloth because I didn't put down the plastic. So now you and me and the world's ricketiest tripod here are going to move into the kitchen and we're going to actually try to cook these things. We are in the kitchen now, and I am putting a little bit of margarine in the pan. It's a non-stick pan. I don't really need it, but it does say to use a lightly greased pan. Sorry about the sound. As I've said before, this camera doesn't have a microphone or doesn't have a microphone jack on it, so I can't do anything about the echo in here, and I know I'm probably a little farther from it than I normally am, so the sound may be a little crap in this portion. But we're cooking, right? So this has been sitting for probably about 5 minutes. It's not really puffed up. You can see some thickening there, but it's not really puffed up that much. Not compared to the Crusties, although that's been sitting longer. But still, this is the main point of this video, this gray speckled glop. So we're going to do it first. So I'm going to try and not make too big of a pancake here. Again, I haven't made pancakes since I was in high school, so please forgive me if you see me doing something that you believe is woefully wrong. Alright, and it says to just let it go until bubbles form on the top and it's golden brown on the bottom, which I can't see until I lift it up. It says it's over medium-low heat, but I'm just thinking that doesn't seem like it's... I mean, I guess it's sort of starting to bubble on the top, but it just feels very squidgy around the sides. Like, I don't know how I would flip this. I guess I should have made it a smaller pancake, huh? This just seems like the size pancake one normally makes. I mean, that does look brown on the bottom there. This is like my favorite kitchen gadget. I use it all the time when making eggs because you can get under it and then get the spatula under there. And okay, let's look at these two. Honestly, of course, it's not as golden brown because I probably didn't. Well, I'm not doing professional photography with it, am I? But I'm saying that doesn't look as vibrantly light and fluffy as the. Do back so the lights. Can't see it that way though. Those don't look the same. I think it's interesting that the box here shows it with like normal Aunt Jemima syrup and not the special Captain Crunch syrup. How do you know when a pancake is done on the side? I mean, I know you don't want it to be all doughy in the middle, but I don't want to break into it, do I? Welcome to Cooking with an Idiot. I really feel like I guess I must have the heat up fine, because otherwise that wouldn't have browned, right? Yeah, I think this is going to be more like 2 or 3 pancakes. But again, I guess that's more than, I think it's at 4 inches. Is what the box said, right? Well, it says 1/4 of a cup. So I'm guessing I put in more than 1/4 of a cup, but I don't want another measuring cup to have to clean, you know? I know you're not supposed to do it twice. That just looks really gray and awful. But I think it's done. Well, let's get it out. Put in the next one. You know, the first pancake is always your sacrificial one anyways, right? I mean, I think for having not made pancakes in like over 20 years, I think that came out pretty decent. I don't think it's pretty. I think it's pretty decent. I think it looks better. What do you think? There we go. I think that's a more even color, don't you? That's why the first pancake's always the sacrificial one. I feel like I should circle back and do this in the waffle maker at some point. Alright, last one of our Berrytastics. Oops. Double oops. Alright. There are our Captain Crunch Berrytastic pancakes. Now, let's make my little homebrew monstrosities with the red, white, and blueberries. Need a new plate for that. Gotta keep them separated. So here's our Crunchberry mix now. It's thickened up quite a bit, and I'm sure there's no crunch left in those berries. This could be quite the disaster. Meanwhile, of course, our Captain Crunch pancakes there aren't getting any better. Well, it sure isn't pretty, is it? Honestly, I'm going to say, I think that kind of looks more like the box than the ones from the box. You know, this really isn't so much... These are just confetti pancakes. They could have put these out as confetti pancakes. Or funfetti, if you wanted to tie it in with, I don't know who makes the funfetti. Is that Pillsbury? I think the Crunchberry is maybe sticking to the pan. So we're clearly not getting 3 pancakes out of this. However, I will say these are much thicker. I mean, much, and I know they sat longer. The batter sat longer than these did, but I don't think that's the sole cause of it. I think that actually, other than the pancake looking like somebody dropped Texas, I think that actually kind of looks pretty good, color-wise. Maybe if I put more water in the batter, because this batter actually required less water than the Aunt Jemima. That was like 3/4 of a cup. This was about 2/3 of a cup. So it's a little less water in there. So maybe that makes part of the difference. It's not as runny a batter. So I think looking as thick as these ended up being, that this is one where I really probably did need to measure out as I was pouring in here. Just because look how thick these are, and there's only 2 of them. And also just how much is gooching out the side. I'm a little worried how thick that is, that it's not going to be cooked all the way through. I mean, it feels like it is. We'll guess we're putting that side down, aren't we? Let's dig in there a little bit. Yeah, see, that's not... These are too thick. These aren't going to be good. And I guess I have the heat too high for this mix. Making thicker pancakes, probably should have done these at a lower temperature. So I think we're going to find the center on these is going to still be doughy. And again, like I said, I haven't made pancakes since like Bill Clinton was president. So just give me a little bit of slack there. All right, but that is our pancakes made. Kill the heat. And we'll run this back to the void space. Get ourselves a bowl of cereal to go along with it. And we will have a lovely, balanced breakfast. It's my homebrew ones again. And the Captain Crunch ones. Let's jump back to the void space. So here we are back in the void space. Hopefully the sound will be a little less awful now. We've got our frankly kind of dreary and gray and dingy looking Captain Crunch's Berrytastic pancakes. And then my little home mashed together of red, white, and blue crunch and Krusty's brand pancake mix. So I think it's only fair to give them a try before we put syrup on them. Just to see how they come out. So let's cut ourselves out a wedge here. Let's use the proper hands. All right, so yeah, I mean, it still seems pretty gray to me. Can we get a focus on that at all? Yeah, it still seems very gray. The spots of color are not nearly as distinct as they are on the box. But again, I'm wondering if perhaps they've all settled to the bottom. I maybe should have shook it up a little bit first. I don't know. But let's give them a try. Smells like pancakes. Well, now I know why I don't eat pancakes without syrup on them. Yeah, the pancakes. They're at least being cooked all the way through, so that's nice, because I think we're not going to find that with these ones. Yeah, they just taste like slightly sweetened pancakes, or like sweeter than normal pancakes. I'm thinking, looking at them, I'm not thinking, the kids are going to fall in love with that. Maybe that's why it's a Walmart exclusive. All right, let's try the ones with the Crunchberries. Let's make sure we get some Crunchberries in our bite. Honestly, I think that's much more colorful. If you want to do this, just go ahead and throw some actual Crunchberries in there. I think that's much more visually appealing than that is. It's a vibrant off-white, and you got the bright colors in there as opposed to just being kind of a dingy gray with little specks of colors in it. It actually looks like they're not as doughy in the middle as I thought they were going to be. The Crunchberries, of course, don't crunch anymore, and kind of take on a gushy, almost doughy feeling themselves. Probably soaked in some of the moisture from the batter. That may have been part of why the batter was so thick as well. The Crunchberries may have sucked some of the water out of it. Honestly, these taste better though. They both taste a little bit doughy, and that could also just be down to me. I mean, they look cooked to me, which is surprising, because I thought this one in particular here was going to be really doughy in the middle, but it doesn't appear to be. But I think I like these better. Honestly, I don't think either of them is a huge success, but you know, we gotta finish it off with our artificially flavored maple syrup. Let's try to do a little drizzle. Oh, I'm sure this has a thing on it, right? You can't see what I'm doing because the camera's down too low. Look at that. That is a color that absolutely appears in nature. How does that smell? Well, it smells like cheap maple syrup. So we may be in luck there at least. Alright, so let's do our little cross drizzle like it shows on the back of the bottle. Alright, let's get it. We've got a nice little pool of blue here. Let's give that a try. Cut ourselves off another hunk. Got plenty of that blue syrup there. Really don't want to drip that on the table, but there you go. Well, that does help. That does make it better, but still, that's really dingy inside. Alright, let's get ourselves a little cross of blue on the homebrew team here and see how those do. Alright, X marks the spot there. So let's cut off another hunk. Again, get some syrup on there so we have a fair comparison. Again, get yourself a nice little look at that. That natural looking blue there. Ah, there you go. There's some of that doughiness I was afraid of. Yeah, I thought I tasted some in that bite. Aside from the fact the pancakes are undercooked, I'm going to say that the improvement between the two is different. This is actually vastly improved by the syrup. This, not so much. Syrup doesn't do much for this one. But it's, you know, it's a thing. We tried it. I don't know that I'd recommend this. I think if you want to give the kids a little surprise treat, I think this is probably a better way to go. Go with a nicer quality of pancake mix and just throw some Crunchberries in it. Or maybe if you want them to not be little gushy globs inside your pancakes like mine are, you want more of that kind of speckled look, maybe throw them in your blender. Powder them a little bit, crush them up, put them in a zip top and crush them. Alright, so, of course it wouldn't be breakfast without a bowl of cereal. And yep, we do still have our cotton candy crunch here to contend with. I need to clear some space. So let's take a look at the captain here and see what he's got to offer us. We already kind of looked at this. Corn flour, sugar, oat flour, the normal stuff. That probably same exact stuff that was in our red, white, and blue crunch over there from the 4th of July. Captain Crunch bags do not open easily. Alright, so let's pour some of this out And again, yeah, it's just Crunchberries, but blue and pink. And much darker blue and pink than they were on the box. So let's take a look at these. Yep, they're just Crunchberries. They do. I can smell them from here. They do smell strongly of cotton candy. Flavor-wise, honestly, they're very similar to those sweet and crunchy cotton candy balls. Maybe a little stronger though. Definitely a tighter texture, more like cereal. Maybe I should do that. I saw those cotton candy balls, and I realized I tried some more. What they remind me of texture-wise are those, you know, those sugar wafers. Usually come like in a brick, and you know they have like the wafer on the outsides and some sort of a cream filling middle. The texture of it ultimately reminds me of that. So that's a plus for them, I suppose. But I wonder if we could turn them into cereal. That may be something we have to circle back on later on. But for now, let's finish this video up with our Cotton Candy Crunch, because it's as close to the fair as we're going to get this year. Alright. Yeah, like eating cotton candy for breakfast. And who doesn't want to do that? So there we have it. There are our 3 attempts at me cooking today. Well, 2 attempts at cooking, and 1 attempt at pouring a bowl of cereal and not ruining it. So there you have it. There's our whole, complete, wholly imbalanced breakfast of sugar and carbs and calories. Don't eat this for breakfast, folks. It ain't good for you. But it's also my lunch, so I suppose calorically, I'm probably about okay here. So I don't know that I'd recommend either of these things. That's not, you know, I've already said on that. That was just my bad idea. Yeah, these in particular, they don't look as bright and colorful as the box. They look gray and dingy. I can see why nobody but Walmart wanted to carry them. These are just your kind of bog standard sweet cereal. If you really like the taste of cotton candy and you want that to be the first thing you taste in the morning, there you go. There's your boy. Otherwise, they're just a sweet cereal like every other Captain Crunch variety. And these monstrosities were just the product of my own sick imagination. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching me try to cook things. And if you did, please give it a like and make sure you're subscribed. And follow me on Instagram at Void of Intelligence, where I'll probably put some pictures of some of these things up there as well. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.